Murder is the way of all things, the way of nature. Every living thing is a murderer. He's in his Hot Topic era.
He's cooking right now,
he's
actually.
in his Hot Topic era.
Welcome back to Seeker and Confessor, a Sword of Truth podcast. I'm your host, Frank.
And I'm Lauren.
And today we are covering part 2 of chapter 36 of A Wizard's First Rule by Terry Goodkind.
Hey!
Part 2, Rule 1.
Part 2, Rule 1.
Part 2, Rule 1.
Yeah, today's going to be very much so about the titular Wizard's First Rule.
The eponymous.
I'm sure most of you saw, but we did do a half episode going through things we had just been questioning. We wanted to go back and reflect on and remind ourselves about, because we've been at this for a long time and
it's so long.
It's kind of hard to keep track. So I feel refreshed though.
You feel, what, getting that off your emotional plate?
Well, that for sure.
Your intellectual baggage has been cleansed.
Also, like, just some stuff I was like, am I remembering that correctly? And now I know for sure that I am, or I'm not, or whatever. I re-skimmed enough that I'm like, okay.
You feel fresh.
I do feel fresh.
Going into the Mord Sith and everything that's coming up, you feel good.
Yeah, I'm still a little, like, honestly, doing this in 2 parts pissed me off because it just meant I was even further from the Mord Sith than I was to begin with.
We're dragging our feet here.
It's already taking too long. Thank God I didn't know how long. In the beginning, I would have felt so demoralized had I known how long it was going to take.
Oh, I knew.
It was keeping me going.
I know.
So.
Well, now you're here.
We're almost there.
On the precipice.
Guys,
on mommy's door.
We've got a new update from King John in New Zealand.
Give it to us.
Okay?
Lay it on us thick.
Hi, team. Thoroughly enjoyed the episode, as always. Some very funny one-liners. Something about he turned up on a dragon, Grandpa, was very funny. I agree. That was cracking me up.
Real anger, that's why.
I think I have the naming of the fans sorted. I do like this. Male fans can be Gars, and the ladies can be the Shars.
Gars and Shars.
It's very cute.
Gars and Shars is good.
The Shars and Gars. Anyways, keep up the good work. It's a lovely sunny winter's day in New Zealand, and the cows are happy. That's such a nice ending to that message. That's delightful.
Happy cows produce more or better milk, you think?
Oh, well, John would know, so...
John, we're looking to you for guidance.
Yeah,
here.
let us know. John, is there any way to send us a picture of the cows being happy?
Oh, wow. Or videos of the cows mooing in paradise.
Anything about the any, like, picture content of the cows I would like to see. It warmed my heart to hear that they are happy. I would love to look at them. So I don't know if the text message fan mail feature will allow you to text photos in, but try.
Yeah, just slam them in the slot.
See if you can do that. And then if you can't, you certainly can email us, seekerconfessorpod@gmail.com. You could also slide into the DMs on Instagram or TikTok. All of these will work. But, no pressure. You don't have to send the cows, but I would love to see a happy cow. And if you do, I will, in fact, I don't know if you probably don't watch on YouTube, given that you're sending this through the audio feature, but I'm going to splice an image of the happy cows if and when I get a photo.
Heck yeah. Come on,
so
John,
everybody can look at the cows. Okay?
Let's get those
cows
thank you
for sending that in. Thank you for the idea about the Shars and the Gars. We're loving that.
I do know that you are not happy to fully abandon Sister Spiders. There's no
chance.
Well,
okay, Cynthia gave me a good solution for that.
All right, and what's that?
And that solution was when they're being good little listeners and watchers, they're Sharlings. And if they're being a little naughty... They're being, or a little sassy, just like they got some naughty energy, then they're Sister Spiders.
Sister Spiders.
So,
all right.
Okay, maybe.
Wait, so the girls get 2 breakdowns?
No, the boys are also Sister Spidering.
If we're sassy,
yeah.
What if, I don't know,
what
if we're broing around or something?
Well, the thing is...
Could we be the quads?
The Gars, doesn't Gar kind of, it's giving a little of both, because we have Gratch representation for the sweet
true.
side, and then we have the other Gars representing badness.
Gratch and the Garlings sounds like a cool band.
It does. Wait,
Right?
that's so cool.
Gratch and the Garlings.
The Char like clearly was just good, I think. I don't know though Night Wisp's bad in any ways. I don't imagine.
We know nothing of their politic.
You think they're doing bad
They
things?
can put Nightshade under, like, orphans' pillows. We don't know.
Oh my god.
I'm just saying.
But she was so ready to sacrifice herself for everyone, so...
Yeah, that could be a selfish act.
Listen, we have a lot of options. The Shars, the Sister Spiders. Honestly, tag yourself in the comments.
Yeah, whatever flair you want.
Tag yourself in the comments down below. What are you?
Yeah.
Are you feeling today like a Char, a Gar, or a Sister Spider? What energy do you have? What do you have?
Me?
Yeah.
Samuel.
Or Samuel. That's always the option,
The go-to.
Yeah, okay. Char, Gar, Sister Spider, Samuel. Who are we today?
Zedd's Wizard Rock.
I don't know.
Pot of spice soup. That's my flair.
I wish everyone could have a flair,
That'd be so
whatever
good.
that means
Yeah.
in this context.
Bubbling cauldron of spice soup.
Okay, we got to get into it because even having split this into two parts, somehow I still have
this is a beast.
an almost record amount of notes going on here.
Because nobody paced this chapter. It's like 30-something pages long for no reason.
Nobody what?
Like, paced it up. Like,
Paced it up.
like there's not good pacing, so the
Pacing.
yeah, what do you think I'm saying? Pasted?
Yes.
No.
I was like, what?
Where's Elmer's when you need him? All right, go.
I was like, is that like an editing term I'm unaware of? So we left off. Zedd's back in town, eating
Yes,
he's
is.
eating everyone's food. He's gaslighting our friends, Richard and Kaylin. They were basically like having the conversation about Horner's Mill,
Yep.
where Richard told Zedd about what happened there and was like, oh my god, it can't be Westlanders, right? And Zedd's like, oh, so smart, you're right, it was
My boy, you're so
it wasn't.
smart.
We get into this because Richard and Kaylin are like, oh my god, how could this be? How could it be that the people really believed that it was Westlanders when it was actually Dahara, which I quite fundamentally don't really get the question, like, to begin with.
There's
I'm like,
no
what do you mean?
satisfactory answer, and like, right off the bat, I have a problem with all of it.
Me
right?
too.
Like, all right, Richard believed there couldn't be Westlanders for no reason other than he's like a Boy Scout and he doesn't believe his people can do this. That's not a good answer. So first off, bad.
Right.
Kaylin, who Zedd knows it isn't. Zedd knows it's Daharans, right? And like, is he using magic or the powers of wisdom and deduction from being 107 years old? Like, what do you think?
Who's Zedd?
Zedd. Like, why does he know automatically? He went there and he saw it and he's like, oh yeah.
It's so hard. We're not going to get an answer, and I think that it's supposed to just be like, there's so many ways he technically could know this via magic, just via hearing things through the grapevine when he went to Idendra. Like, who really knows?
My problem, right,
Okay.
is that Zedd went there. He saw what everyone else saw.
Wait, he went to Horner's Mill?
He went to a couple of them, I think he said, right? He's like, oh, I saw those and
Maybe.
many more, I think he said.
Okay.
So he's seen this. He knows what this is. And he either knows because he went and his magical powers told him. But Terry does this thing where he's kind of always saying, I don't know, a good intellect and your magical powers are one and the same.
I know, I really
So
hate
it's
it.
annoying as fuck when Zedd goes there and says, Richard might not know this sort of stuff. Richard doesn't know about warfare that much. Richard doesn't know about the ways of what,
Okay. Yeah, for whatever reason.
of like politics. Like
My
he doesn't,
dude's never read a book.
whatever.
I don't know.
So he doesn't know, and he has this boyish idealism. So I'll give him that. Kaylin is
No, I know, she
the
makes no
mother
sense.
confessor, the last of her kind, the most powerful of her kind. Been walking around the world in the shoes of women who took down dictators, tyrants, and kings for their entire
The amount
history
of, like-
and worked hand in hand with wizards. Why is she sitting here being
I
like,
don't know.
I also don't know.
I don't know.
I'm also stupid.
The amount of, like, political knowledge I'm certain you'd have to, like, take in as a confessor through, like, just stories about your lineage would be astronomical. If anything, you'd be, like, the most in the know about how people are, like, manipulative and scheming.
Absolutely.
And how complex this sort of thing can get.
Terry's like allergic to having two people be actually on the same level of knowledge and forethought and and experience, and having them just have different opinions.
He definitely does that.
He's like literally allergic to it.
It's also, I feel, for whatever reason, Terry really wants Kaylin on some level to feel as though her characterization feels correct to me, especially in this sort of way. If Kaylin was like 14 and unfortunately thrust into the last confessor role as like this very young child teenager, and like we were supposed to be like, oh my gosh, she had to like take on way too much information, way too much responsibility, way too much power, and she can't fully grasp it way too soon. But she's like, also, it's like, no, she's been doing this for a while. She's older, and she was it's not, I don't know, this would work so well if she wasn't Mother Confessor until...
Correct. All the other ones died.
All the other ones died, and now, unfortunately, she has become one, and she didn't know all this, whatever. I'm like, she's old enough
that works
and
great.
Has been in this role for too long for me to believe that she isn't like really good at this sort of thing.
100% with you on that. If she was, I am the Mother Confessor because I'm the last confessor.
Yeah.
I'm like good at it, but I'm not like, there were way stronger confessors than me who had way more knowledge.
Well, all of this would kind of make sense to me. I'd be like, maybe she really didn't get that info.
It almost feels like he wrote it that way, and they were like, wouldn't it be cooler if you...
Well, you know, if he wanted to start getting saucy with it, and he was like, Richard needs to go with the Mordsit, that must happen. And they were like, okay, so that means Richard also can't be a teenager, he's got to be grown. Yeah. And then they were like, okay, well, his love interest also now must be grown. So now they, in fact, have to be 20 plus, which then puts us here where, like, okay, she's 20 plus and has been Mother Confessor from the beginning.
Yeah.
You need to write her like somebody who has knowledge.
Competency, knowledge, wisdom.
I understand Zedd maybe is better at this than her just by virtue of being much older, but she should not be at the same level as, like, naive farm boy Richard. It makes no sense for her to be. And she frequently is not only just as stupid as him, but stupider than him.
Yes, and that makes no sense. That makes absolutely no sense.
So I'm not surprised about this Daharan technique to scare the masses, right? Like, I'm not surprised when I hear that.
No,
and
exactly.
I'm not anybody that takes a whole lot of time delving into, like, politics or anything.
You don't have powers of state?
No, that's what I mean. Like, I'm not... Who the fuck am I? Why would I understand this better than Kaylin? I want to read this and be like, Kaylin's much smarter than me.
So how did you learn about this kind of thing? Because I learned it from Julian.
Oh, Julian told you about this?
He told me all about it, yeah.
That's
on his yacht, yeah.
Oh, that's really romantic.
It was. But not because of this.
He sounds smart.
Best
how did I
money
learn
could buy.
it? I learned it. Mistress Denna told me about it.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah, you were with Julian, I was with her, and...
She spilled the beans to you?
Yeah.
So you have, like, favor with her, I guess.
We have a different... It's
you
not
and
like...
Mistress Denna have a bond.
Yeah. It was us, and she told me... Yeah, so she taught me. I guess Kaylin hasn't, didn't meet her yet.
Did she tell you not to tell anyone, though? Where you found out? She's going to be so disappointed with you.
No, she didn't mention that.
I don't
know.
Oh, so I'll bring it up. I can bring it up.
Okay, wait, so did Julian want... Like, he's privy to, like, UN secrets because of his father. Yeah. So should you be telling us that?
He secretly, not so secretly, wants his father to fail. Because he's not as... He just doesn't like the way his dad makes money, and he thinks it's wrong. But
so all of this was, he was kind of like hoping you would put it out to everybody.
The masses, correct.
The masses on our podcast, because he knows how popular it is.
Yes, yeah, and his dad's kind of afraid of the mouthpiece that I have, so that's why I think Julian, it's like a double win, I'm his type, and I have this worldwide...
Oh. Yeah,
I'm reaching farmers in New Zealand. Like everybody listens
to
this.
Right, that's true. You're really. Oh my god, you're impacting this man.
Unfortunately, friends, we cannot get this off topic on this episode. We have to.
I know, what the fuck.
All right, so Horner's Mill was an inside job.
That is just blowing our minds.
Yeah.
We cannot conceive of it.
These silly little idiots can't handle it.
So Zedd's like, let me drop some knowledge on you. Like, you silly little idiots don't follow how the real world works. But fortunately, I've got some wizard's rules that will clear this all up for you.
One rule, but...
So, he has more. We only know about this one right now. We must learn more.
I think there's like 2 or 3, yeah.
Good God. Mm-hmm. I can't imagine what the rest of them are. Okay, so I guess I have to read the whole thing.
Oh yeah, you wrote it? Yeah, please, let's have it.
Well, it's...
Yeah, let's go.
It's the book title.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Wizard's first rule. People are stupid.
Why don't
you should have the soundboard. People have been asking for the soundboard
They
back.
want it back?
Like, yeah, multiple people have asked for it back, so. Wizard's first rule. People are stupid.
Hey, oh!
So drops that.
Shit. Here we go again. Another one.
Oh,
let's go.
The soundboard's back,
it's
everybody.
Back, baby.
Woo!
Baba Booey.
Okay.
You like that?
Yeah, if everyone's... If you guys have been missing the soundboard, here you go.
There we go. We got it back.
In celebration of Wizard's first rule, the soundboard's back.
All right,
okay.
so hold on. People are stupid, so let's bring it back. Let's go.
Okay. So, Richard and Kaylin frown in response to this. That didn't fit.
It kind of fit. Why do they frown? All right, yeah, let's go.
Well, I frown too.
Yeah, for different reasons, probably.
No, I don't think so. Especially me and Kaylin. I think we're on the same team here.
Okay.
People are stupid. Given proper motivation, almost anyone will believe almost anything. Because people are stupid, they will believe a lie because they want to believe it's true. Or because they are afraid it might be true. People's heads are full of knowledge, facts, and beliefs, and most of it is false, yet they think it's all true. People are stupid. They can only rarely tell the difference between a lie and the truth, and yet they are confident they can, and so are all the easier to fool.
Why is this a monologue?
Yeah, like, I want to know, is the Wizard's rule officially, like, if I go into whatever book this is written down on, is it just people are stupid end, or is it all
this
of that?
dumb shit?
Is it all
it's
of
probably
that?
just people are stupid. And is he writing these?
No, I feel like we asked this. I'm pretty sure Erica said it's more like a widespread wizard thing. Like,
Is
Zedd.
he Zeddifying it though? Is it like,
I don't know.
Is it like the masses will believe any lie, so use that against them? And Zedd's like, yeah, that boils down to people are stupid.
Okay, then he does go on to say more about the rule, which we'll get to, and like how Darknarol is utilizing it. But that's the rule. Whether or not it is verbatim the rule, or Zedd's adding to it, I don't know.
How do you feel with this rule?
I have a lot of thoughts. There is something about it.
Of course.
Right? Like,
of course. It's not like poop is actually gold. Like that. Like, all right, no, that's not true.
Alchemy King.
Listen, you're right.
I want to give it some credit where it's due. You have your moments in life. You're like listening to like conspiracy theorists out in the world, and you kind of have a like Wizard's first rule moment where you're like, you guys can't be fucking serious, right? People like, why are people so stupid? Because like in a way they are, right?
Yeah, of course.
I don't know how to sum up my feelings. I think that can be true.
Isn't this a Fight Club quote too?
I don't think so.
No?
I don't think so.
It's like people are stupid, persons are smart, or something like that. That's from something. I'm gonna look that up too.
Look it up.
Yeah. No, ladies and gentlemen, that is not from Fight Club. That is from another classic, the Men in Black.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not a Men in Black girl, so I don't know that.
So, is this, thus far, a strong enough statement to thematically be the point of the book?
No.
Were the Mud People stupid?
No.
Were the Westlanders stupid? We don't know yet.
I don't know. I guess I'm having trouble. I guess every example so maybe not every example, but most of the examples he's given so far where I think I'm supposed to like connect this thematically to the moments in the story where, I don't know, something like this is happening, such as Horner's Mill, I don't feel are good representations of this in any meaningful way. No. I don't think people lacking knowledge that they literally couldn't have had is the same as people being stupid.
No, I agree.
Right?
Though I suppose he implies their lack of curiosity for the truth is what makes them stupid.
What? Even if they were curious...
His implication is they're stupid because they're ready to believe the thing they're told without question. Right? Like, that's what he gets to. Because Richard is good for having questioned it, but not 100% good because he should never have.
But he also wasn't supposed to question it.
No, he's supposed to question it. He wasn't supposed to believe it at all. I don't know.
It doesn't.
I don't know. We're gonna get into that, but I don't know.
People certainly will believe lies because they want to believe it's true.
That happens every day.
Or because they're afraid that it's true.
Who was believing lies prior to this that those characters saw? Anyone? Was Shota believing lies?
No.
Maybe. Prophecy?
Maybe. I don't know.
Was Addie believing lies?
No, certainly
Chase
not.
Believing lies? Michael might have been believing lies, but we haven't seen that.
I think people were believing Michael, which that was them believing lies. It all just feels arbitrary to me.
Did George steal the book and Richard's been believing lies? No, of course not.
No,
he's a secret.
That's what I'm saying.
It's like it doesn't make any fucking sense.
What if that was a lie? Then Richard's stupid. I don't know. I think it's just complicated sometimes to figure out truth, and I don't like the implication that it's something incredibly simple that these people all should have figured out. Like, I don't...
Yeah. Not only is it not complicated, but it is also very black and white. And
I know.
You can just pick it out, and that's the answer. Sometimes.
Yeah, All right, we can move on, and then we'll come back to it, I'm sure, as we go through the conversation.
Okay.
So... because of Wizard's first rule, because of this rule, I really do hate the implication as we continue on that this rule is like, Zedd's acting like it's this like incredibly powerful secret knowledge, and it's literally just like edgelord, like whatever, like edgelord garbage.
It's like the veteran who runs like a radio station that no one listens to, just like droning on, and you're like, yeah, Ted in the river van, he loves talking about how dumb everybody is.
Well, I think in this universe, I'm really supposed to believe that like everyone feels like everyone's like, whoa, the hack of a lifetime dropped.
I never thought that maybe other people didn't know as much as me. It's like, everybody does that innately too.
But like, yeah, it like feels to me like in Scientology how apparently it's like you like work really hard and pay all this money to get the secret knowledge the way at the end, which I kind of forgot what it was, but it's like
Thetans or something. I don't know.
Well, yeah, but like apparently when people get there, they're frequently like,
yo, really?
I don't think that was what you thought it was. That's how this feels. Like you're trying to be like, and don't tell anybody. This has been passed down for people are stupid. That is secret knowledge. Listen. I don't know. Okay.
Yeah.
Because of Wizard's first rule, so because of this rule, the Wizards created confessors and seekers as a means of helping find the truth when the truth is important enough. This is so convoluted. So, okay.
Excuse me?
So since people are so dumb that we cannot trust, there's like something, this is the problem. It's very similar to like, I'm sure we've made this comparison before, but it is very similar to like black pill, red pill, incel stuff.
Yeah.
Just in terms of like, they take something that's like a bit true.
Yeah.
Where you're like, yeah, of course, I like relate to that, and some of this is true. And then they say, I'm building like a tower of extrapolations and like things I'm insisting on top of it. Yeah. And you're like, I don't know that all those things are true. They start
making their magic system on top of it. How the world operates.
Correct. And so this feels a lot like that to me, where I'm like, yeah, okay, we keep touching on things that are true and have a lot of complexity to them, but you just go like, well, since that little thing is true, now I can assume this and this and this. And then I'm like, well, I don't know about all that stuff. They create seekers and confessors because people are so dumb. You can't expect the masses to figure out the truth. That's the part that I guess I'm like, yeah, true, right? I certainly am not relying on that.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
And so they're going to help us work through that when the truth is important enough.
Determined by who? I guess wizards.
I guess seekers and confessors.
Who's running a check on these wizards, first off?
Who watches the Watchmen? Big time.
Ain't nobody.
You know? Dark and Rawl knows the wizard's rules. Like, as if I'm supposed to be like, oh no! Oh, he's unstoppable now that he thought people are stupid.
We keep implying Dark and Rawl's like not a wizard, but I'm pretty sure he just is a really strong wizard.
Okay.
He knows the wizard's rules. Yeah, he does, because he's always casting spells. Yeah, I don't know.
But I'm assuming it's sort of like a fraternity of sorts, you know, that he was never in.
So Shota and Addie do not know the wizard's rules?
They couldn't figure that out, and for the life of them, they've never had that thought before. Dark and Rawl is using the first wizard... Are you burping?
No, I'm just sighing.
Dark and Rawl's using the first wizard's rule. Like, any halfway competent political figure is aware that they can sway the masses based on their own lack of access to information and time, quite frankly, to sift through said information.
Yeah,
and also because some people are they're not the brightest, right? Yes, I don't think he wouldn't have figured that out had he not heard the wizard's rule.
He knows the rule. He read the sacred text.
I'm like,
he found out that people were stupid. No, he knows.
No, people all throughout human history, like going way back.
All the kings, the local lords. They all
figured this out independent of one another. They didn't need anyone to like break the news to them.
And the reason it's true is because every individual is stupid. Even the person thinking they're smart for knowing that other people are stupid. Everyone thinks they're smart. That's the problem. It's not because nobody wants to accept truth. It's because everyone thinks the truth they found is the right one, and they're very willing to settle.
Quite frank, like, I guess most of the time it is a matter of everybody's coming to conclusions for various reasons and various experiences and various levels of intellect, and then saying that really feels right. That really fits my framework. Mm-hmm. That really fits my understanding. Sometimes for good reasons, sometimes for bad reasons. And then they just come to a fucking conclusion.
That's that. Yeah.
I just think it's so stupid.
So then at that point, what is a seeker? Someone who...
Keep questioning?
Anyone that's willing to not accept falsehoods?
I get it, right? Like...
Is a seeker... Well,
everybody, like, is going to exist on a spectrum of... I am willing to just say, oh, okay, they said that. I think that's true. All the way to neurotically conspiracy level questioning every single thing, right?
Yeah,
like there's just a huge spectrum of that. And honestly, both sides of those poles are fucking annoying. Facts. I'm guessing the seeker is like skewed a little towards the conspiracy side because he's questioning everything, but is smart enough to not fall over that like cliff there.
Sure.
So a seeker is just somebody uniquely good at that process.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And confessors just have magic to make you tell the truth.
So I have a problem with that distinction, right? So
Why?
The wizards made the seeker. All right. I mean, what the wizards did was they enchanted a sword that helped a person they liked be able to find the truth, right? Because a seeker is not really anything other than a guy with a certain personality and disposition
who you give
a magic sword to, which cool, but also whatever. Then you enchanted an entire bloodline with
it's a really
mind
big
wipe
difference.
Powers that force people to tell the truth. Is the seeker the better? You should have given out more swords, probably.
Well, why? Why are you saying that? Oh, yeah, because you're saying there's so many confessors. Why didn't we... there should be an army of seekers.
Have an army of seekers. And maybe there was at some point. I'm sure the great seeker-confessor war of X-teens... there's no years in this universe, so I don't know.
In this world, it's like figuring out psychology is nobody can do it. And
there's
they can only
secret text.
Yeah, they can only figure it out if somebody tells them directly. Like Darkenwall could never have. He just couldn't have come up with that.
No, it's because he glimpsed through the veil at our holy book.
People need an enemy to feel a sense of purpose. It's easy to lead people when they have a sense of purpose. Sense of purpose is more important by far than the truth. I mean, yeah, frequently that is true, right? In fact, truth has no bearing in this. I think that this is a lot more complicated. I would argue that...
This is infinitely more complicated.
That people's sense of purpose will frequently be... It doesn't have to be true to give people a sense of purpose, but then people can have senses of purpose out of truth. And
Absolutely.
That might reinforce the sense of purpose for them.
Correct, yeah.
So saying, like, in fact, truth has absolutely nothing to do with sense of purpose is like, well, sometimes yes and sometimes no. That's what... I feel like that's my answer to so many things like this in the book, where I'm like, well, sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes no. Right?
I'm wondering if Kaelin is the balance here of being like, I don't like wizards and their rules. I think they're kind of unilaterally dumb.
I hope. Darkenwall is providing them, meaning like the people of the Midlands, with an enemy other than himself, a sense of purpose. People are stupid. They want to believe, so they do. Sometimes people are stupid and will believe something like that they have this common enemy that a leader is telling them. Sometimes, yeah, for sure, that happens. Sometimes they're not being stupid. They just genuinely
have the wrong information.
And have no means through which to get the correct information.
It's very strange that he has replaced like a moral compass with something that he considers objective truth.
Okay, yeah.
It's like people who want a purpose, he's implying everyone's a Nazi.
Oh, wow.
Like, if you give them a purpose, they'll just blindly follow it. And they have no concern about whether or not it's right, whether or not it's true, people just blindly follow to a T, except for a few rare ones who could be seekers.
Yeah, I get exactly. I find it frustrating how much variability there is in the human experience in a topic like this. That I feel the book is asking me to be like, that's not true. And it's like, no, it is. This
goes back to that teenage sensibilities and morality thing. It is much more black and white.
It's not interesting to me as a person now that has obviously considered, often people are stupid. Oh, let me consider all the ways and reasons why that occurs and all the nuances of it. Then going back to this is so uninteresting. But when you're a teenager and some part of you is like assuming adults are smart and
of course, yes,
and you're just coming into that age where you could start like questioning that because you're now old enough to have your own opinions and not rely on them. So then it feels so crazy to be like, oh, wait, are they like, maybe some of them are just like dead ass wrong.
Did Terry think that his readers were stupid, you think?
I think he thinks we are, the fact that we want to read his writing
means we're smart.
But
he definitely feels this way about the world, right?
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of stupid people in the real world, he thinks.
I think he thinks
and he's
that.
like, and I am not one of them, and my readers are probably not one of them, unless they're ones that would send me mean comments on Reddit, then they're stupid. It gives this vibe of like...
It's very
Tyler Durden.
It's incredibly off-putting.
On the hill. I don't know.
Well, I'm just like, I want a little humility of like, if you want to go people are stupid, I want it to be like, we are also stupid and have to take that into account. That's a little cool.
That's cool. Yeah, we are all stupid. We are all
in the scheme of the world. Oh my God, we can't.
And what can we build from there? Like, that's a bottom up.
I'm not getting that.
No. Can we just talk about how absolutely inappropriate using this example on a situation like Horner's Mill is?
I know. Like, as it is very like, maybe that's their fault.
These are big dummies. Their husbands, daughters, and everyone around them, their entire lives were shredded. These people were brutalized. They were watched to have their family and friends killed. All the little girls were raped multiple times. What are you doing? And then you go, Zedd's like, these idiots.
I know.
These fucking fools
I guess that's
for
the thing.
believing.
The example where this is our last, it's directly connected to Horner's Mill. So now I have to say it. I'm like, okay. They were just like working class.
Regular dudes.
People.
Yeah. They ran a mill.
They had somebody show, they've never met Darken Rahl. They're not familiar with his policies and personality. A group of soldiers show up and say, we have good policies. Yeah. They're like, sounds good. Yeah. They say, here's a bunch of money and safety. They go, sounds good. Because here's the thing. If Richard showed up and said, I'm the Seeker, I'd like to protect you, and they said, we love that,
sounds good,
we would be like, so smart.
So smart. They let him in. So
fucking smart.
But honestly, you know what would happen? They'd all be like, we don't want you. We don't want truth. And then they'd all burn down.
But you know what I mean? It makes no sense to me. It makes no sense to me. There's no... From their point of view, sitting there, Richard comes up, other man from Dahara comes up, both strangers, and they both say, we're going to do really good things for you. And if the person from Horner's Mill looks at Richard and says, I believe you, we go. And if they look at the Daharan soldier and say, I believe you, we go, oh, dummy. But they had the exact same amount of information.
Of course,
the same exact reason to believe both of them. So I don't get it. It's the same difference.
It's very Christ-like. It's very Christian-coded, actually, which we keep coming back. Yeah, because there's this issue of faith, right? They're supposed to have faith in the truth. And somehow they're supposed to know it.
That's what I'm saying. So
vibes.
That's what I feel like. I'm like, is Zedd trying to be like, they should have just felt it? Well, I don't think that's real.
I don't
certainly
think so
not.
So they either need this this truth faith, which I don't know if it exists. I don't think so. Or they need to be willing to never accept anything from anyone and just do their own research about everything. Right? Which you can't do when you're a middle-class medieval worker working on your paper mill or whatever the hell it is.
I just think this argument works far better in like a modern age. If Terry had written this about the modern world in the last like 10 years with like the internet, I could kind of buy your argument because you could be like, you have access to so much information and so many, I don't know, scientific papers and what the fuck else.
Sure.
That sort of makes sense to me, but this really doesn't. Okay, so again, I don't know why they would like trust Richard and not trust these people. It's the same. It's all the same to me. And then we're like, because Richard's a big, handsome, strapping man. I don't know, and I get the Daharans are too, I guess. And so they believed them. And at the point that they got attacked. They hadn't done anything bad. So as far as they're concerned, they're like, maybe he is just a good ruler. Why would you not think that? You could, even if you were being a little like, I'm not sure, but things seem to be going well. And then a bunch of people come in and kill and rape you. I'm just really trying to wrap my head around where was the point between point A and point B when the men come and kill everyone that they should have done something, and what was it that they should have done?
I don't know.
Just said, I've got a bad feeling about this. Why? And then even if you did, then what?
And it's not as if Darken Rahl can't do this to all the small towns.
No.
So some of them were right.
I know.
There's some ruler in a far-off sandcastle somewhere, and he sent his big, beautiful soldiers to increase economic prosperity in my little town. And they're being nice, and they're buying everything, and they're increasing sales and trade.
Like,
if nothing we were about like, that screams, he's gonna murder all of us. Like, why are we acting like this is like Fox in the Henhouse behavior to, like, increase the GDP of Horner's Mill? I don't...
Like,
what is happening?
I get it. Yeah, have a healthy dose of, like, skepticism. Keep your eye out. But, like, I don't know. I guess they're just supposed to be, like, paranoid at all times.
This would have been more effective and much harder to write, and Terry's not capable of it, if they, after learning from Zedd that these was actually the Daharans, they go to Horner's Mill And they say, it was the Harans,
right.
It was Dark and Raw who did this to you, and they won't believe you.
Yeah, that
but you know how
okay argument.
It's an okay argument. You know how hard that is to say, and how angry can Richard get in the face of these people?
Not very.
Not very, because it's like, they're like, honestly, I don't care.
I guess that's my irritation with Terry and with this and everything. Like, I'm okay exploring a lot of the ideas that people are dumb and how they're easily influenced and whatever.
Yeah.
But it has no softness at all, right?
No,
you get no
like
sense
negative softness.
that Terry's like the only Terry does have softness come out. He has softness come out in Richard and Kaylin's relationship together. Here and there you see it. But something like this, like on this like wider human scale, it has no sense of like, and even if we were like, I think this is true, and isn't it like kind of heartbreaking that there is no way for them to know, and it is so confusing, and they are fooled because they're scared, and this should like, and it's hard because obviously that is in a way his stance, because Richard and Zedd and all of them are trying to help these people, but something about the way they like speak about them even continuing forward is so mean, and you're like, do you not feel I do feel like you guys think it was their fault.
Kind of, yeah.
And I'm not following. No, but it would have been way more impactful for them to go and try to like talk to them in some way and have the people still unwilling. But at that point, again, it's that empathy thing of like, you'd be like, these people are highly traumatized right now and maybe just do not have the bandwidth to update their system like that at this moment.
Absolutely.
And I guess it feels like I don't know, maybe we're not saying anything bad about that. We're just saying like it's a fact and we need to like be aware of it. They're saying like, but he was killing his own supporters. Honestly, the stupidest people right now. You know who's way fucking stupider than the people at Horner's Mill? Richard and Kaylin, who can't understand any basic political concepts here, okay? But he was killing his own supporters. Are you fucking serious right now? Then Zedd's like, he wanted word to spread. Okay, we got it. Zedd says, truth is hard to sell. It gives no sense of purpose. It is only truth. That I take total issue with. Sometimes truth is hard to sell, but truth gives no sense of purpose to anyone? Like, what do you mean? Yes, it does. To plenty of people.
Except for the
Seeker and Zedd and... Like, what do you mean? Of course it does. Are we really supposed to be like 99% of people this is true of, and then a special genius but also dumb as fucking rocks, Richard and Kaylin, are the unique special babies who can... This isn't true of?
Is there a chance that, carrying on from last episode, cantankerous old annoying ass Zedd who abandoned the Midlands is just wrong here? Is there a chance that the rule stands, but he's just going too hard?
Yeah, there's a chance.
There's a chance, right?
I would love to see it.
And I'm thinking maybe it's...
I'd
have thought.
Would love.
It'll come up at the end of the chapter, but is a lot of this Zedd's callousness that came out of the loss of his wife? I
would love to see it. I mean it deeply.
Also, we'll get to his gaslighting that he does and his deflection.
He does much
of blame.
Much of it, yes.
Blaming Kaylin for Richard's heaviness.
I just take issue with the idea that truth cannot give people a sense of purpose. Yes, we are very open to the idea that Zedd... I'm not supposed to take all of Zedd's opinions as totally true. I don't know if I am or I'm not. So we'll see.
Yeah,
but anyway, whether or not I'm supposed to, I'm just, playing around as if I'm in a little philosophical conversation with Zedd here. And I disagree. I think that truth can give plenty of people a sense of purpose. I think that's ridiculous.
Absolutely.
Wizard's first rule, Richard over here. Stupid as fuck. But it isn't true. How could Rawl get away with it? How could everyone believe it? I don't get this. I will never get this.
He's so autistically, literally obsessed with the truth. That's why he's the seeker of legend, and the sword will turn white for this motherfucker.
Of course.
I don't know. I don't know. It's stupid. I don't know. It's just
But
dumb.
you know what is truth?
What?
Truth
Tell
is the fact that if you're seeking truth, the truth of the matter is it's very obvious why they believe it.
Yeah.
It's not truth to not understand how things work. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to understand truth. Well, girl, the truth is they can't know that this information is false. That's the truth.
Yeah, true.
He's so obsessed with truth that he can't understand why people don't understand things. Okay, but the truth is it's not obvious
Yeah.
to them.
You're right.
What's not to get? So then, Zedd, you knew better. You knew it wasn't Westlanders, yet you doubted your knowledge. You were afraid it was true. Being afraid something is true is accepting the possibility. What? Accepting the possibility is the first step to believing. That might be true. At least you were smart enough to question. Think of how easy it is to believe for people who don't question. Even if they questioned, the outcome would have been exactly... How do we know they didn't question? And even if they had questioned the people of Horner's Mill, the outcome would have been exactly the same. They could have been questioning all fucking day long.
Yep.
Then what? How do you know they didn't question? They're sitting in their homes. How the fuck do you know, Zedd?
He magicked the answers out of their brains.
You're telling me 10% of them aren't sitting at home going, I wonder if there's any chance these people are manipulating us. They could have questioned it all fucking day. And then what?
Nothing. Nothing changes. So I don't know.
Okay. So Richard...
He also didn't doubt his knowledge in town at all. When he was in that town, Richard did not for a second doubt it was Westlanders.
No, he really did.
He was full throat. It wasn't them. It wasn't them.
It was just because
them.
he asked Zedd. So that
and then
means
he said, it wasn't them, was it?
It's bad that you thought maybe it was Westlanders because someone was trying to trick you into thinking that. So therefore you're dumb.
Yep.
But I would argue thinking it literally couldn't be Westlanders is just as stupid.
Of course. Yeah. But not in this
What is
world.
the material
There's
difference?
There's an objective truth. You got a vibe about your country, and you know none of them would do anything bad. Like, what does it mean? It's stupid. Yeah, there's a good chance it's not, but it could be.
Isn't the wisdom to say, I can't know for sure it was Westlanders, so I'm suspicious, right? Because it could have been somebody else. But also, I can't 100% count out that it was Westlanders, because me being...
Time to look for more evidence before I make my decision of how I feel.
But
that's fine. That would be a seeker.
You knew better. You knew it wasn't Westlanders. Based on his own emotional ties to the idea that his country is good.
Yep.
That was a good line of reasoning for Richard?
Apparently.
No, that was a terrible line of reasoning for him to come to that conclusion.
We're not here about reason. We're here about sensing the truth with your seeker feelers.
Okay, but by this logic, nobody else has seeker feelers.
Yeah, I know. The guy with the sword does.
So why would they know?
Because they won. They're stupid. And
is that stupid or is that just
they
being
are
normal?
Dumb, and the guy like this is able to detect the truth.
That's not. If everybody does it, it's not.
I don't.
It all has to exist relative to something, right? Stupidity has to exist relative to intelligence.
Correct.
So if everybody, the way that everyone functions is stupid, that doesn't really make sense. Now that's not stupid anymore. That's just the norm. That's just the average. And stupid has to be something below that. That's how that works.
Damn. She just came here and said regression of means. She just came
Am I
here
wrong?
and said bimodal distribution.
Am I wrong? It's definitionally can't be stupid anymore.
It's the average.
It's
so
the
it's not
average.
stupid.
It's just normal.
It's the vast majority of people.
It's just how thinking works at that point. And then some people are a little above that, and some people are a little below that, and those are the stupid ones. That's what the word means.
Well, no, he's not ranking. He's saying people are dumb, and then there's another category of not being an ass, like an idiot. You know what I mean?
No, I don't.
He's like, it's on a different scale. intelligent. People are stupid, and then you might be one of the few who are luckily in this scale where you're smart.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
What's the definition of stupid?
This is a good... Hey, good.
The definition of stupid is having or showing a great lack of intelligence or common sense. Great lack implies that there is an average by which we are determining this, yes?
What's that last concept? What does common sense mean?
Common.
So having a great lack of what common people have.
Yes. So now if you say the common sense, everybody thinks this way, that is no longer by the definition can be stupid.
Correct.
It can't be. It has to be something that is uniquely below that.
You're saying, reasonably so, if everyone's this much smart, then that's not stupid. That's average.
It can't be.
That's average intelligence.
I'm just saying,
If we're talking about intelligence, which is what stupid is referencing.
You can't... It definitionally doesn't work. We love to be pedantic. I am going to out-pedantic you.
Richard's going to hate this.
Yeah, stupid cannot function this way.
No, it can't. From where everyone is.
We all know the world is not split into hyper-intelligent geniuses and then a huge
chasm
that everybody else is in. That it's very clearly not how it works.
Well,
so this in my opinion is completely meaningless. So there's that. So then Richard says, but the ones who did the killing, meaning the Daharan soldiers pretending to be Westlanders, they knew it was murder. How could they do it?
A total pivot. Not related.
Daharans appear to be...
They have a great predilection
murdering
for murder.
all the time.
They love
In
murder.
fact, their leader is trying to end the world right now or become a dictator. And murder... He's notorious for being a murderer.
He murdered your dad.
So
there should be no confusion that Daharans like to kill.
How could the Daharans be murderers?
Keep going. That point is not worth diving into. We accept that Richard is stupid. My first rule is Richard is stupid.
Okay.
Keep going.
Yeah, he's fitting the definition. So it says for the cause. Well, yeah, duh.
Okay.
Richard says, but that goes against nature. Murder goes against nature.
All right, here we go. All right, whatever. I don't care anymore about Richard's input. Let's skip Richard's input. You can read it. We're not going to go into why it's weird, because there's just too much. It's just plot device. I don't care. We cannot we cannot look for logic as to why a man would speak like this. He wouldn't. An author wants this plot shoved down your throat. So what is the idea here? Tell me about nature is murder. What does nature is murder mean? Tell me. Okay.
It says murder is the way of nature of all living things. He's like you look over and he has like black hair with like a little red streak of dye like in the bangs. He says murder is the way of nature. It's all living things. He's like, yeah.
He's like not making eye contact.
Exactly.
He's like shuffling his big platform black shoes. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Yeah, he's like looking around like, yeah.
You hear that?
Richard says, trees can't murder.
Got him there, son.
Okay. Zedd says, murder is the way of all things, the way of nature. Every living thing is a murderer. He's in his Hot Topic era.
He's cooking right now,
he's in his Hot Topic era.
He's not wrong.
No, he's not wrong.
He's not wrong.
He's not wrong.
And it is I'm 14 and this is deep, which is a great subreddit. But
it's so hard. It's right in the middle of it's right in the middle of a thing where you're like, okay, yeah, no fucking shit. But also
Terry had like 5 bad essays, and he was just like, how can I connect the ending sentence of this one to
Yeah,
the top sentence
literally,
of the next one.
so
and it was
true.
just like, Richard will say, how could they murder? Nature is murder. Connect. There we go. Like,
it's like, yeah, connects. Like, he just clicked these things
yeah,
into
but when
the
you look at the
spokes.
joint, it's like fucking mangled, and he just like rammed it in there. He like lightered it to like make it work. Melted that shit. The orange piece is all fucked up.
Richard, like, looks at Kaylin like, ah. And Kaylin says she learned not to debate with wizards a long time ago. Okay. And so then Richard, literally, like, he also, you just see his whole outfit change. He's wearing his trench coat.
Oh,
he's wearing his
yeah,
Jinko
yeah.
jeans, and he's, like, looking around. His hair's turning black and red.
He joined fucking Project Mayhem. Like,
Richard looks up at the pine tree and, quote, sees the branches stretched out with murderous intent in a years-long struggle to reach the sunlight and dispatch its neighbors with its shade. The small pines around the big one were shriveled and weak. I don't know who said this. I wrote, quote, life for the strongest. There is no sympathy for the slain. Only admiration for the winner's strength. Who the fuck said that? Richard or
in
Zedd?
his mind, I think. Like,
Okay.
he said it as like a fucking, like, it's just Terry being like, this is poetry.
Okay, yeah. So, Richard, like I said, he transforms. He has his moment. He transforms into a Hot Topic teen. He
Yep.
looks around and he's like, the horror of the branches of the tree trying to beat the other trees and murder them and etc.
Once again, a truth, not the truth.
Yeah. I mean, y'all could have just watched the beginning of The Lion King, heard The Circle of Life, and called it a day.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the same thing, right?
Well, no, because it's a circle there, which is more complete of a metaphor
Yeah.
than trees are murdering. They are not. They have no sense of self. They don't kill intentionally. They are literally growing, and by growing, they kill other things sometimes.
Right, like, it's
and
like-
then other things figure out ways to get through the branches. So what are they? I don't know. Listen, guys. And then the tree brings life to the birds. So it's a whole fucking thing.
But,
It's
like-
called an ecosystem. It's not that interesting.
It's not that deep.
It's not that deep. The tree didn't murder anything.
I don't know. Okay, let's look up the definition of murder.
Oh my god.
Murder is very specific. It's the unlawful, premeditated killing of one human being by another. So, like, doesn't
Not
fit
one oak.
this description.
Not one Douglas fir.
I suppose I have to consider
Yeah.
that they might have a slightly, they might have a slightly different definition in this world, but I think the thing that the definitions of murder all have in common is premeditated. It's intentional, right?
Yeah.
Murder is usually not an accident.
It can be.
Or
Well, manslaughter. But
that's
whatever.
I don't know.
Yeah.
How are they defining murder? Because, like,
Killing something. I don't know. Like, with intent. Right? Or accident.
But the trees
no, so,
not- that
so
doesn't-
trees don't have intent.
I
So
mean-
he's implying any action that causes the lack of life of another thing is murder. Which is just like, yeah, it is the black and red streak.
like, okay. I don't know what to feel.
Murderer.
I don't know what to feel about this, because he's not... It is a facet of life, right?
Yes,
it's a
absolutely,
facet of
yeah.
nature.
You can ascribe sin to everything.
Yeah.
The plants are greedily drinking the sun and the water. There's an infinite supply, but they would take it all if they could. Like, it's like, all right, yeah, probably. I don't know, but they can't. So,
Do you want to do something over there?
What?
You got the soundboard up.
Oh, I had it for a while.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is Richard. Yeah, so...
Okay, so Kaylin, a sweet baby doll,
Yeah.
comes through and says, but people don't think that way, which
People don't think what way? That everything's a murderer?
I honestly don't know.
Yeah, okay. Keep
but
going.
she's right. I think she's saying,
yeah.
like, I
The
took it...
wide-held belief is that not everyone thinks everything is murder? Is that what she's trying to say?
No, I took it as, like, tree, the thing that the trees are doing is not how humans function, which is true.
Yeah, true.
Like, you know what I mean? Humans aren't out here just being like, get out of my way, you die.
I didn't need a growth spurt and go like, through like my 5th grade teacher. Like, you know, like, oh no. My arm just fucking eviscerated Mr. Mandel. Sorry, bro. Life is murder. Oh man, we are nowhere near the end of this shit. Oh, we're fucked. We're dying. The podcast murdered us.
Oh my god, I feel like we're gonna be here forever.
Part 3 is coming. Yeah, you want it? We haven't gotten through anything so far. Let's go.
Okay, listen.
Come on.
Okay,
Come on.
Kaylin says people don't think that way.
You got it. Alright. Okay, come on. Seriously, I'm done. I'm off the page. No more.
Get up! Stop!
Alright. I thought you were coming over here. Alright. Okay. Alright, so.
Okay, she says, people don't think that way. Okay?
Yeah.
Zedd says, no. Which tree do you admire more?
Yep.
Kaylin picks the big pine tree. And she
The other one's
says,
sickly.
picks the big pine tree. I don't know, she says something about it being a beautiful tree. And Zedd goes, people do think this way. You chose the tree that murders. Wow.
Fireworks going off.
By this logic, though, we should, like, I guess we're not saying it's good or bad, we're just saying it is, but by this logic, Dark and Rawl should win, right?
Yeah.
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 So, like,
and we should all be murdering at all times.
Well...
Is his point that murder happens?
I don't know. It's
or
like,
that murder is a moral good?
It's in nature, right? Because Richard said it's unnatural. So Zedd is trying to argue.
Well, that's dumb.
I know.
And we spent so much time on it. It's dumb.
No, that's
of course it's in nature.
Yeah, no.
It's not aliens, like, coming out and
murder
doing
is
crap.
quite frankly natural. I'm with Zedd on that.
Yeah.
Why do we even need to look at the trees? Like, just be like, have you seen an animal? I don't know. Like,
yeah. How do you eat?
By this loose ass definition of murder, yeah, it's literally like.
Sorry.
So I guess we're trying to say murder in general is natural. The things Dark and Rawl is doing are natural, which, like, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But clearly, you guys take issue with this natural state of things and are trying to
prevent lots of murder. Yeah.
Trying to prevent these big pine trees from existing in a way, right?
Yeah.
Dark and Raw's a big ass pine right now, and you guys were like, no, we want to cut it down. So
he won't stop. Humans
and nature are the same and different at the same time, because the same in that the murder is a facet of nature, the desire
Correct.
to win and be bigger and do all of these things, but unlike trees, you guys have all grouped together to decide that tree's too big, we're gonna take it out, which other trees can't do.
Yep.
Okay. So Richard's talking about Dark and Rawl. He says, this is how he's winning so much territory. He's letting others do it for him, giving them a cause. Then all he has to worry about is getting the boxes. Wait, so is it, I guess, okay, that's the answer. He is trying to I don't know. Wait, hold on.
The man...
He said there is no one to interfere. So we thought the people of Horner's Mill, if they weren't distracted by all of this weirdness, were going to rise up and stop Dark and Rawl. I think he's just causing, like, discord and mayhem.
Destabilization in the Midlands.
It kind of...
So that no one will stop him on his
quest
dragon
from
getting one box where he knows where it is. What? I don't know.
Well, he still doesn't have it.
Yeah, because he didn't go there sooner. He probably should have. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
That made no sense. Why didn't he just go there right away? He was like, I know what the box
just
is.
Found out.
No.
Oh.
In the past, he knew. He was like, oh, Clean Milana has it. We're working on...
Oh, yeah.
Why didn't you just fly your dragon and be like, mine now? Lightning. Goodbye.
Why was he doing all of this work?
I don't know. Then fly back home to your palace. You have a million quads
if
outside.
All he needs is this one last box, who gives a shit? Yeah, go burn her, take it, go home and do the thing.
You know how quick if I accidentally set this shit off and I'd be like, oh fuck, I got a year. I'd be like flying around, fucking be like zap, 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 zap. I'm not playing by the rules anymore. I got no time.
He was
I need the book and I need the box. Done.
Role playing.
It'll all come to me.
I don't
and then
know.
it didn't. And
I have
then,
no idea why he waited. Whatever. The whole explanation for this is that he just wants everybody in a tizzy distracted so nobody will figure this out.
Fine. And rise up against him or something.
Zedd says he lets Wizard's First Rule do the work for him.
Yeah, whatever, yeah.
This is what makes our job so hard. He gets people on his side because people don't care about the truth. They do his bidding because they believe what they want to and fight to the death for these beliefs, despite how false they are. That is how lying works. Yeah.
Also, Zedd, you know these rules. Why don't you inspire people in the opposite direction?
I think that is his trauma.
What? Oh.
Him, like, being unwilling to engage with the Midlands and all of this.
Yeah, right. Get the fuck over it. The world's ending.
Yeah.
Sir, you'll kill your friend, but you won't
He's got a lot
lie to some minors? I don't, like, come on. Trick them.
Yeah, but...
Dark and Rawl raped all those people. Get them all angry and get them marching in there to get slaughtered by the quads. I still don't really get...
Clearly, like, truth is, like, important. I guess that's why we had that caveat. Important enough. It's only important when it's important enough. Because, like, Zedd's little penis trick... was a lie.
True. Yeah, absolutely.
So, like, being truthful doesn't really seem that important.
Also, may not have been magic.
Wasn't magic. It wasn't.
Yeah, just a good trick.
Richard says, all this time I thought we were fighting evil. Evil on the loose, run amok. But that's not it at all. What we're up against is more like a plague of fools.
Richard is just Terry's literary mouthpiece to move the plot along, and then like his like slam poetry dispenser.
You think that's the main issue, not... So Caitlin is going to take issue with this again. Thank you, baby girl. But this whole time I thought we were fighting evil. Yeah, you def are. There is in fact still a man trying to end the world and murdering people. No,
it's just more complicated and harder than just that. You're not just fighting evil. Yeah, you're fighting a lot of things. The world exists as it always has.
Zedd says, you're right, my boy. A plague of fools. And then Kaylin says, directed by Dark and Rawl, because she's coming in to be like, yes, but also like they're only being that stupid.
Because they have a genius
manipulating.
Right. Yeah. Uh-huh.
And then Zedd says, I thought this was a terrible metaphor. Awful. I can't really make heads or tails of it. If someone digs a hole and fills it with rainwater, where is the fault? Is it the rain's fault? Or is it the fault of the person who digs the hole? Is it Dark and Rawl's fault or the fault of those who dig the hole and let him rain in it? What?
They didn't actively do anything. He did everything to them, and they just chose to believe it. So they didn't dig a hole. They were born and they lived where they were. And then he came in, did a bunch of stuff, and then did a bunch of more stuff, and then they were left with nothing, so they believed what was available. So they didn't cause this problem, which is what that metaphor infers.
I know,
right?
I don't even kind of understand.
They didn't dig the hole. Dark and Rawl's the rain. I feel like, honestly, I feel like the correct metaphor is that Dark and Rawl dug the hole. Rain is just something that happens, and now it collects. Honestly, what is it? It doesn't mean anything.
It's a terrible metaphor.
It's garbage.
I don't like it, don't get it, don't know what I...
Zedd's a fucking acid head. Like, Zedd's just spinning on that wizard rock, being like, jerking his hog, and just being like, I see the stars, trees are murderers. And you're like, all right, cool, man. Yeah, can you, relax? Like, You
know, when you read most books, you meet that wizard, and you're like...
Oh, just so,
damn.
Like, oof.
I am not feeling that for Zedd at this point. I'm feeling like, get Grandpa back to the home.
Yeah, get him back. Okay, Grandpa, we're going back now.
Okay, I'll put your Grateful Dead t-shirt on you. Yeah. have your edible, go watch Wheel of Fortune. Like,
I like to solve the puzzle. Wizard's first rule.
so is it the rain's fault or the hole's fault? What?
I don't know.
Probably neither. I don't know. Kaylin says
fault for what? It's
I don't know.
A hole full of water.
What's the bad part?
What's
of
the bad?
hole
Do we not like holes of water?
I don't know.
Whose fault is it? What do you mean fault? What do you mean?
I know.
Because, okay, so then when we scale it up, the ocean, is it the ocean or Titanic, like, plate shifting 7 trillion years ago who made the mistake? I don't know, it's an ocean. It's just there.
Why am I supposed to think
Is water in a spherical dome in the ground somehow evil?
It's bad. It's not good.
It ain't good.
I guess.
It's definitely not good.
I don't know.
Okay.
So Kaylin says maybe it's both of their faults. I don't know. I guess that's the best answer in either neither or maybe both are fine answers. Kaylin says, this doesn't change anything. If Raw gets if Raw gets all the boxes and what?
Us.
Yeah. If Raw gets all the boxes and opens the right one, he is the one who will kill us all. He is still the head to the snake. It is still the head we must remove. Like, literally.
Yes.
So fucking true. So this is why I do question if it's Terry's opinion fully. Like, it seems like it is, but it's also like he's writing Kaylin, and Kaylin is...
Yes, a counterbalance here.
And yes, this is Kaylin finally being de-bimbofied. Thank you. And yeah, no, for real, like, all of this pontificating has literally done nothing for any of us. We literally still need to get to Dark and Raw. He is the only person ending the world. I don't fucking care. That's the only opinion I care about. Zedd agrees with her. He says, but there are many small snakes that can kill us first. Guys, just go... yeah, like, was it ever in doubt that people might not be 100% believing or on board with this whole narrative? Is this news to you that you're gonna have to figure this out and people might not want to believe you or give you things like, is that interesting?
I don't know.
No shit. Okay. Do it anyway. They're sitting around saying all of this like, you really need to understand this. Not everybody will 100% believe us and do everything in their power to help us. Yeah. No shit.
No shit. That's true of anything.
Right.
Me going to you could say that to me going to the bank.
Yeah.
And be like, they're not all going to help you get your money. Some might walk in your way and spill gum on the floor and you step on it. Like, I don't know. I don't assume when I'm doing things, everyone's like, how do we help you, sir? How do we get you there? Yeah, no, people have agency and they muddle about all the time.
Richard kind of seems to come around when Kaylin starts. This is why, like, I'm gonna... a lot of my ranting... If we think that it is not, in fact, Terry's opinions, per se, or he has more nuanced opinions, I'm okay with that. I'm just ranting about Zedd, then just interpret it that way. If we think these are Terry's opinions, then I'm ranting at him. But Richard kind of comes around when Kaylin says that he sits next to her, and he agrees. He says, actually, we've already learned this lesson via the mud people and whatever.
Yeah.
Their adventures. He's like, you know what, Kaylin, you're right. And actually, Zedd, we already knew that. And we should focus on Dark and Raw. Who fucking cares about all this shit? It's kind of the vibe, which I was like, respect. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Thank you. Richard, you still really came across as a dumbass in that convo, but okay. Zedd says, Dark and Raw can kill all three of us very easily. Which, like, we know. Yes, we know.
Yeah. Yes.
It's so, why are we just sitting here? Like,
he's got a dragon, even without any powers.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah.
Richard says, well, why hasn't he killed us yet? Which is a valid question.
Right. No one's asking this important question.
Zedd says, you don't kill all the flies in a room until they bite you, and we are about to bite Dark and Raw. Okay, that metaphor is okay.
That's fine.
This wasn't the rain in the hole. I see your point.
Yep.
Richard says, I'll remember Wizard's first rule.
Cool.
Zedd tells him not to tell anyone else about it because it's a secret only for wizards. The wizard's rules may seem cynical, or they definitely do, or trivial to you. They definitely do. But they are powerful weapons if you know how to use them because they are true. I think I just proved actually that it wasn't true because you're not using language correctly. Anyway, truth is power.
Yep.
I have told you to because I'm the head of the Wizards and I think it's important for you to understand. You must know what Rawl is doing, since it is the three of us who must stop him.
Day one, you should have given us all rules, Zedd. You should have given us everything we needed. Your magic boots, anything you got.
Yeah, literally everything.
You gave him nothing.
I think Rawl is in fact doing what you're saying he's doing, as would anybody in his position. And I don't think we needed the Wizard's rule to...
As helpful as it was, I think.
For any of it.
We could have progressed.
Quite frankly. So Zedd's tired. He wants to go to bed. Richard wants to take first watch. Zedd says he'll take second watch, which is the undesirable watch. And Kaylin tries to be like, no, don't.
Grandpa.
And Zedd's
says,
like, I got you, little girl.
Yeah.
And that's the first nice thing he's done in...
25 pages, yeah.
Yeah. Richard walks out. He goes to the river. He thinks about how Zedd is basically gonna want to kill him because he's the Book of Counted Shadows.
Yeah.
Then he has this like really convoluted idea that...
Yeah, is this about Kaylin?
Yeah. So first he's like, I wish I could keep the tooth because I really love proving that Papa wasn't a thief.
But...
And he wants to tell Zedd about it, but he can't now because it means Zedd will kill him. And he thinks about Shota's prophecy. And I thought it was interesting because he's no longer talking about it in terms of like, I can't tell because of the oath I made to Dad. Now he's only like, I can't tell him because of he'll murder me. And he says the only way for Zedd to confirm the book is true would be to use a confessor.
Yes.
And Kaylin would know what's in the book by confessing him. So therefore, they'd both have to die. And he doesn't want Kaylin to die. So that's why he has to hear to the tooth. My thing is... Zedd just got done saying he didn't need to know what was in the book. He just said he wanted to make sure it was destroyed. He didn't need to know what was in it because it can't help him.
Yeah.
He said he wasn't going to read it. Mm-hmm. And he does not, in fact, think anything in it would tell him which box is which. He just wants to destroy it and get the last box. So Zedd would not need to hear it. Like, he would not need to confess Richard to hear the book. He would either need to do nothing or kill just Richard, and that would be the end of it, right?
Terry said, that's not good. I need to find a way to keep Richard involved in the game, because Richard does want to die right now. If it would help, he'd probably be like, yeah, kill me.
Right. I know. I just didn't really get it. I was like...
He doesn't care about his own life. He only
but
cares
all you would
Kaylin.
have to do... The only small shift you'd have to make here is Zedd does want to read the book.
Yeah.
Then this would make sense. But you went out of your way to say Zedd didn't want to read the book.
He didn't in the past. Did he say I don't, and I wouldn't want to now?
Because Richard was like, well, if you find the book, do you think it's going to help us understand which box? And he was like, no, it doesn't make sense unless you have all the boxes. So it wouldn't even help.
Which is just stupid.
Which was an excuse for Richard to not have to give the info to fix the problem.
It's also an excuse for Terry not have to write what's in these books because he never tells you. Because I'm sure it would have to be some like logical poetry. But anyway.
So, I don't know, whatever. He's convinced Kaylin's going to die if Zedd finds out he's got the book inside of him. So he puts the tooth on a piece of driftwood and sends it down the river.
Yeets it into the river. A la Rachel with the key.
I guess it's both childhood trauma going in the water.
Throwing away your childhood trauma. Is Rachel stupid for trusting Giller?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Because,
no, it was good to do it. So
I know, but like, what was stopping Giller from being...
But Rachel was wrong for thinking that Kaylin was bad. So... Because of the long hair.
Right, but see, that's so confusing because I do feel like we are supposed to be empathetic with Rachel.
Of course you are.
So then maybe Terry is empathetic about...
Maybe Terry's fucking inconsistent.
Maybe he is empathetic about people's stupidity. It just didn't sound like it right now.
Well, we'll see. Maybe Zedd's not, and he should be.
And maybe he will be.
Maybe he will be. I don't remember him being this cantankerous.
My issue... Maybe I'm taking more even issue with... If you go on, like, because I'm always fucking searching Wizard's First Rule and trying to, get my little feelers out there on Twitter and, whatever. Trying to like things to drum up attention for our shit over here. So I will like search Wizard's First Rule, and it's just like filled with like, especially on Twitter, like dumb people writing. It's like any political post about like anything that they don't like, they will write underneath it like, Wizard's First Rule, people are stupid, they'll believe anything, and they like all think they're like really smart for doing this. And I see it constantly. I mean, go on Twitter and just search Wizard's First Rule, and you're gonna see like people replying to like CNN with this, thinking they're like real hot shit. So I'm just like, oh god, you like gave, but it's not anyone's responsibility to like, you know, prevent people from being able to. No, like he shouldn't have not written it because people are gonna do weird shit with it. But
no, he wrote it because people require the ability to do weird shit with art. That's just how that works.
Yeah, I guess it's just, the question is where like authorial intent is. Would Terry sit there and read that and be like, guys, shut the fuck up, you're being annoying with my book? Or would Terry every time see it and be like, yes, that's what I wanted you to do? I don't know. These people just like really took it. Whatever nuance maybe is here, a lot of people didn't walk away with that. And perhaps there isn't nuance here, hence why they walked away thinking correctly what they thought.
True.
I'm not sure.
Neither am I.
How stupid of us. We should know. Richard is sitting there doing his watch. The creature that is following them and watching them is nearby. Richard is like emotionally attached to it now. He like cares about it, and he's convinced that like it means well.
Which means it will mean well.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. And
yes,
then
of
two
course.
things die, which we assume it killed or it killed it.
Yeah, we
Whatever.
hear something get hunted. The creature's like hunting food, and Richard's sort of like, I'm glad.
Oh, the murder.
I'm glad he's out there. Guys, I don't know if the momentum here is going to feel weird, because we were intending to do the entire thing. I don't think we can.
No, it'll be 5 hours long.
So I think what we're going to do next time, we're going to end here. And then next time we're going to finally finish chapter 36. And we're also going to do chapter 37 together.
Yep.
Because we don't have that much more I mean, like, kind of a lot, but not that
couple
much.
pages, and the next chapter's kind of short, I think, so...
Yeah, this feels like a weird one because so much of it was like just ranting about like if we agree philosophically with the ideas. But you know, you write a philosophical book and I have to engage with it that way, right?
I'm going to speak my mind, so...
I don't know, then we kind of went off the rails a bunch.
Listen.
If the pacing feels weird and we're ending abruptly, apologies, we kind of are.
Yeah.
I don't think we have the...
Stamina.
Yeah, that's the right word.
That is. I don't know. Check the definition. Just kidding. Well, we love you guys.
Yeah, thank you for watching the baby episode. Thank you for watching this episode. Thanks for being patient as it takes us years to get through chapter 36.
It's a long one.
Somebody wants to keep me away from my mistress.
Not for much longer. Hey, anything good is worth waiting for. Terry's edging you right now. All right, I don't know.
I don't like the idea of that.
Me
I don't
neither.
like the idea of it.
Let's go.
I feel weird ending it.
No, we gotta end it. It must be ended.
All right. I'm so sorry it's taking so long. We have too many things to say about the Wizard's First Rule.
Yeah, I don't feel bad about it. This dude wanted us to talk about it.
He did.
So he wrote the book. And
we talked about it.
We're here to talk.
We talked about it. So
Guys.
let us know. I mostly want to know if you guys think does Terry deeply believe in the Wizard's First Rule? Do we think Zedd is being extra cynical in a way that as a reader we're supposed to be like, relax? Or are we like, this is exactly the tone Terry wants it to have personally?
That's a good
That's
question.
what I want to know.
I don't know.
Everyone's opinion on what do you think about the Wizard's First Rule? Do you ever think of it and be like, yeah, that's right, and like use it in your life?
To use it to take over towns and do whatever, you know?
Yeah, tell us about the last time you brigaded a town.
Please.
And
like
stole...
how it went and who you told them it did it and
yeah,
did they believe you?
how that worked out.
Yeah.
Did you get lumber out of the deal? How'd it go?
Yeah.
All right, we're going to go now.
Bye. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Love you.